What's going on, guys? So this morning I'm heading to a place to do a dyno. I know I've already done a dyno, but after doing a little more research, looking at the graph a bunch, I just didn't like it. It didn't seem proper, I guess. The numbers just seemed off, and really the whole situation with that place I went to I didn't like. They wouldn't let me near the car. I was like literally like over 100 yards away from the car, couldn't get up close to it to film it. One of the other people that worked there took my phone to film the runs, and I told them make sure they're in sport mode, and they had never dynoed a Durango before, so I don't even know what gear they were in. They wouldn't really give me any information. So I found this other guy that's got an all-wheel drive dyno that's close, and he has done like dyno Durangos before, and I showed him the graph from the first place I went to, and he agreed that something wasn't right. So I am heading to his place now to do another dyno, and the car is still completely stock motor wise. I haven't done anything to the motor, and I'm hoping to see some better numbers. The torque just seemed low. I think it was like 287 torque, 268 horsepower. Just the numbers just seemed low. And I know there's a loss in the drivetrain, and there's even more of a loss since it's all-wheel drive, but I think the torque should at least be 300. Losing 103 torque in the drivetrain just doesn't seem right to me. So we're heading there now, and I will be up front. I changed the spark plugs because I just hit 100,000 miles, and I changed the oil last night because I was at about 7,000 miles on my first oil change. I don't like to go a full 10, even though the oil says it can handle it. So I changed the oil, and I also changed out the air filter because I don't know when the last time that was changed, and when I took it out it was pretty filthy. So it's still a stock air filter in the stock box, and then I changed like I said, I changed the oil, changed the spark plugs. So with that stuff, I know I'm gonna get higher numbers, but I think they're gonna be a little bit higher than I'd expect, because I think that first dyno, something was just goofy with the way that went down. So yeah, well, I'll follow up here once we get to the dyno and start running. All right, guys, real quick, I wanted to show you what the temperatures were here. So we're at 70 degrees. Hang on a second here. And the DA is 1408, so pretty good DA. Let me check out the AccuWeather, see what it says, see what humidity we're at. This says 72 and 74% humidity. All right, guys. So as you can see, the dyno numbers were a lot better. I just got back from the dyno. Wanted to go over some things here. So the reason I went and got a new dyno, like I explained earlier in the video, is because this dyno graph from the first place just looked like garbage. The curve was messed up. It just didn't look legit. And as you can see, the numbers were just super low. 268 peak. 287 torque. That's 100 horsepower and 100 torque off of what it's rated for at the crank. So you know, I was considering, okay, it's all-wheel drive, you know, it has a little bit more percentage of a power loss than a rear-wheel drive, and then I was like factoring in that and then, you know, maybe it's just the mileage that's on it or whatever. But I got to just looking at the curve here and then looking at other stock RT dynos, and this just didn't sit well with me. Like, look at these drops here, these random spikes, drops again right here for no reason, again right here for no reason. It should just be a steady curve unless the car has issues, which it doesn't. So I contacted another all-wheel drive dyno who has actually dynoed Durangos before. This place hasn't, and I took it there, and that's you know, the videos that you just saw there were the new numbers. So this was my 4th gear run. I did a 5th gear run, 4th gear run, 3rd gear run, just to kind of see. The 5th gear run, it hit the speed limiter of 120 before it hit the rev limiter, so that one was a bust. And you can see it right here, actually. This is the 5th run. You can see it hit the rev limiter at like 5,300, which it still had quite a bit to go. Or the speed limiter rather, before the rev limiter kicked in. So that was a kind of a bust run, but it made 274 on that run with 327 torque. If I had the ECU unlocked, I could, you know, the guy could go in and take the speed limiter up to 200, and I would have got like a better run. But what he did instead is he did a 4th gear run, and that is this 309 that you see here, 309, 342 torque. Which is, he printed it off on a separate one here. That's this one here, and you can see, look at the difference in the curve. So look at these two. Look at how choppy this one is, and then look at how smooth this one is. This guy here actually works on these dynos and builds them, and he actually had to go to this place to fix theirs before because they were having issues. I think they're having issues again, and I'm kind of pissed, to be honest, that I had to pay them for a dyno that wasn't even legit. But anyways, besides the fact, this guy's awesome. Dyno Pro Technologies, if you're in St. Louis, definitely check them out. But he helped me out, did a great job. Peak numbers, so peak torque was 342. That was on the 4th gear pull. Made 310 horsepower on the 3rd gear pull, but that was just, we just did that just to see what it would do. But as you can see, the torque is pretty close. So that's more of like what I've been seeing with stock dynos. As you can see, this is like 280s, 270, which it was super low compared to other dyno charts I've seen for the stock Durango. So 325, 327, 342, that's more right along par. And 310, I mean, I don't know, I'm almost thinking it's a factory freak, but I don't know if the 4th gear has anything to do with it. The DA was nice. I forget what it was. I filmed it earlier in the video. I think it was like 1,400 feet or something like that. Temperature was good. It was low 70s, and then humidity was like 74%. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with the results. Got a good baseline, and this guy's really cool. I feel good about going back to him. They're actually starting to get into tuning Mopars, which is cool. But I think what's up next for me, I'm going to start doing some engine modifications, but I want to dyno after every modification just to see what kind of power it gets. And I'm thinking intake, throttle body, possibly the 6.4 intake manifold, definitely long tube headers, X pipe, and catback exhaust. And then eventually I want to get some 345 gears because that's going to be the real booster. And then obviously after all those bolt-ons, get a tune. And then, you know, down the line, maybe a cam, like a mild cam, we'll see. But those are the numbers. Appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. and we'll see you on the next video.